All right, welcome everybody to This Week in Theater I. This week we're going to be talking about film. Now, we're not necessarily going to talk about the beginning of what is film and when film started. We're going to be talking about how more to create film. All right, so we're going to be talking about the basics of filming. Let's get started, shall we? All right, so there are some building blocks to the actual creating of a film: frame, shot, scene, and sequence. And we'll review these. All right, so we're going to start with the smallest piece of film, which is a frame, like a picture. It's a smallest piece of film. It is the still image. So when somebody says this is a frame from the movie, this is one still picture from a movie. The next is shot. Shot defines as a continuous camera take without disruption. So when they're doing like one take with the camera, they're not going to interrupt the take. They're just going to go one and done. That's one shot. So you can see on the diagram that it goes from the smallest up to the biggest piece of film. This may be referred to as a take, as I said before, during production. So like take 12, take 13. Then we have the scene. This defines the place or the setting where the action is being filmed. Each new place or setting may be a new scene. So we had our picture, a bunch of those strung together, and one continuous take is a shot. And then if you change locations, this is a new scene. So say you're watching a film and the first scene is in a bedroom, and then the next scene is at a school. Those are two different scenes. And then we have our sequence. The sequence is a series of scenes or shots that completes a subject or idea. It may occur in a single setting or in several settings. It ends when the subject matter change, almost like a paragraph. When you're writing a paragraph, your paragraph is over one subject. When you're talking about a different subject, you make a new paragraph. The same kind of idea is for sequence. So say we're doing multiple locations. So we start in the bedroom and then the school, but we're all covering the same subject of maybe best friends, showing the idea that they're best friends, and you see them like playing around in the bedroom, and then you see them messing around at school. This would be like a best friend sequence. For example, like in Mean Girls, when they're talking about how who the plastics are, there's a series of This is a sequence of scenes talking about who are the plastics. So that is an example. All right, camera composition. So where you put the camera can help frame your story so much. A lot of great filmmakers and people who do things like on YouTube use different shot and angle types. They angle and get so much in frame to help tell their story. And we're going to review the different shot and angle types. All right, so shot types. First, so the shot is how much we see in the frame. So first is the long shot. It establishes the scene, shows the subject matter in their surroundings, so you can see where they're at. Tells the viewer where the action is taking place. A long shot could also show us back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, they wouldn't film in an actual school if they were filming like a series. They would show you like a picture of the outside of the school, and then as a long shot, and then they would go into the school for their close-ups and etc. But if you can see in the picture, this is a long shot. We see the whole body of the character, and we see what's going around. Next is a medium shot. This is the most popular type of shot. It's a great way to introduce a character for the first time because we can see what they look like, but not being so close that we can't see part of their body. It's framed from the top above their head to about just below their waist. If you see the young man in the photo, we see above his head and below his waist. We can't necessarily see 100% where he is like we would in a long shot. So medium shot, you're just getting about waist up, okay? Then we have a close-up. This is a way to reveal characters' feelings because we can see their faces a little bit better. This is framed from just above the character's head to below their chin. This is different from the next one, which is the extreme close-up. Think of this as like your profile picture. You see your face. Lastly is the extreme close-up. This is a way to reveal feelings without perhaps using dialogue, or provide the audience with the view of a specific detail. So an example could include a person's eyes, mouth, their hand, an inanimate object, such as like a contents of a letter. So if you can see in my examples here below, I have like someone's just their like nose and eyes. Maybe a lone tear rolling down the cheek. That's all you see is that tear going down the cheek. That would be an extreme close-up. In the middle, you see 99,999 fine. That would be something like imprinted on gold. So like if you needed to read a letter or a specific detail or like a close-up of a bloody knife like in a scary movie, that would be an extreme close-up. Someone's teeth, etc. You can use it close-ups for suspense. You can use it for comedy. It's a great way to show something in film. All right, next we're moving on to camera angles. The camera angle is determined both the audience's viewpoint and how we see the story, and the physical amount of area covered in a shot. Now, I would say the shot types that we just reviewed is kind of like how far or how close you are to a subject, where a camera angle is the position of the camera, the actual angle, like in, math. So that's what a camera angle is. Here are the camera angle types. One, over the shoulder. You're shooting over the shoulder of one subject to reveal another subject. This is often used in like interview type situations, or to kind of like see something over someone's shoulder that you might not have seen before. An example of the baby here in the photo. Straight angle. Okay, so the next straight angle and one of the other ones are very close. Straight angle is placed directly in front of the talent's eye level. Usually it's at the same angle as your camera operator. This is usually used during the news because it's just straight into them, as you can see in the pictures. Now, eye level is a little different. Though straight angle and eye level can be the same, they're not always the same. The camera is level with the subject's eyes, or on their same level. So that baby is not going to be on the bed as the same level as probably their parents standing up. This is one of the most commonly used angles. Here's some other examples of eye level. You're getting down on the level of your subject matter. Side angle. The camera is placed at eye level, but at a 45-degree angle from the subject, so you're seeing things in profile. The audiences view the action, but not directly involved in it. So you can see the examples of someone playing the piano. You're not at the piano, it's off to the side, so you can kind of see them working. Or someone working on a car, you're not seeing directly, as this picture, you're not seeing directly over the shoulder or anything. You're seeing at the side, and the example of the young man and looks like his father. That is side angle. Then we have low angle. The camera is placed below the subject matter and shoots upward. This exaggerates heights and can give the impression that the subject is larger and powerful. So, like, if you look at the sports photo, you'll see that we're lower than our subject. We're pointing up towards him. He looks larger or more powerful, or like an action. If you look at this picture of what looks like a government building, it looks more powerful when you shoot it from this angle, as opposed to maybe eye level or straight angle. And then the same thing with the megaphone. Here's some more examples. Low angle is really great for getting what looks like action shots. So if you want to make it appear like you're taller, or that you are like jumping or flying, you shoot at a low angle and don't show the legs but show like the sky. You can trick people to think, that you're flying. Here's an example of the making that tree look big and powerful. That tree could be very short, but you shooting at a low angle makes it seem real tall. Then we have our high angle. Camera is above the subject matter and shoots downward. This reduces the apparent height and gives the impression that it's smaller and less powerful. So you can see the boxer, even though the boxer is probably pretty powerful, shooting him at this angle doesn't make him seem as powerful. Now, and then you see the man coming up the stairs, and looks like we're on the stairs shooting down at him. He looks less powerful. Here's some more examples of that high angle. All right, let's talk about your assignment. It's going to be posted on Google Classroom. It is a course due Friday. I just wanted to remind you that starting last week, all of those work will be graded. So if you didn't do it, you need to go ahead and go back and do that work. Anything that was done in our weird little gap while we were getting ready, you'll notice that I didn't count it late. But if you did do it, I did give you 100. Now, please, please, please remember that this grading period has been put together 5th and 6th grading period. All right, let's look at your assignment. All right, so on this first page of your assignment, in the above the photos, I want you to put the different shot types. These are 4 pictures. There are 4 different shot types. You figure out which one's which. And then this page is all about, I'll relabel the numbers, but you're going to tell me what angles are being represented here. There are 6 angle types. Some of them may repeat. Just pay attention to your subject matter and where you are or where the camera is. All right? If you have any questions, guys, feel free to email me at hstone@garlandisd.net.